Hello, and welcome back to another episode of Critical Reactions with your host, Bryan. It is the weekend, so we're going to move into some special selections, as we typically do on Saturdays. And this one looks pretty interesting given the album art I'm looking at right here. This selection comes from Whack Whack. It says, like to check out Tides of Man, Western Scene. This is Tillion's old band from the concept album Empire Theory, one of my favorite of all time. And that Tillion is, I believe it's referring to the Tillion from Dance Gavin Dance, which I actually looked up just to double check that, so I didn't sound like someone just not knowing what they're talking about. And I saw that he was born like 4 counties away from me, so like a 2 hour drive. It's where he lived for his childhood, I guess. So that's pretty cool. Not really going anywhere with that, just an interesting tidbit. So thanks for all you've been doing, and I've been very entertained along the way. And yeah, that's pretty cool. I'm enjoying this journey, learning about new music, and kind of giving some smaller bands a chance to engage with a new audience, find new fans. I've seen comments like, hey, I've just found my new favorite band right now. I've been listening to them for a week, and yeah, that's kind of what we're about here. Just like a communal music discovery experience, I guess. And so yeah, and if I can be entertaining along the way as we achieve that goal and learn about music, well, that's the icing on the cake. So I'm glad you have been entertained. All right, so let's get into this one. It's called Tides of Man. The song is Western Scene. Okay. So we're in 6, and the one beat of every other bar is missing. Very disorienting. That's when you expect the reassurance beat to let you know where 1 is. Very serene though. A little bit of that very wide reverb on the guitar, but also the singer's voice.
People tend to give up hope through experiences they've had. Time has put out the fire.
Yeah, this is gorgeous.
Come nightfall, close the children's eyes. Before dawn, we'll
So we're doing like a 5-5-5-6. Back to 6, energy's ramped up. Got this crazy guitar part behind him. Yeah, nice little vocal run. I like that little bit of harmony in the vocals there. Yeah, the right guitar is just always laying down a strong melody line behind the vocalist. And now we're in 4.
Teach the orphan children to act in full compliance with decorated heroes who cross the sea.
There's lots of tension building here in the guitars.
Just and vengeful as we slaughtered them all. Slaughtered their mothers and fathers. Teach the orphan children to act in full compliance.
Ooh. Ooh.
So you would take my son right from my arms for your cause. Instead you're on your knees. Pitiful words from your broken jaw.
Oh man. That's not fair. That song needs to keep rolling. All right. So, I quite enjoyed that. It reminds me a lot of earlier from first to last, mixed with a little bit of like a modern post-hardcore sound, something close to something similar to Kyoto's musically. A nice merger of sort of beautiful writing with some of the just really aggressive, dissonant sounds that post-hardcore is known for using in breakdowns and stuff like that. Um, and yeah, I see a lot of my favorite bands in here. Whether the influence is one way or another, it doesn't really matter. It's just that I hear those influence and I like them. um, so yes, this is something I'm going to be checking out on my own after after we get done with this little reaction here. Um, so they actually do a lot of really cool things in here. It is proggier than I was expecting. Um, just insofar, not like super prog, not like prog proper with a capital P on prog, but it does move around a lot more than a lot of other music that would typically fit around this stuff that I would say is in the post-hardcore area of music, or maybe even slightly emo tangential. Do people still use emo as a genre classifier, or did that get a proper name sometime in the last decade? Um, but yeah, we see a lot of time signature changes. We started out in 6. We moved into a section that was or 3 groupings of 5 and then a group of 6. So we got sort of an alternating 10-11 feel. However, the um, the rhythmic pulse of it was 3-2. We had 3-2, 3-2, 3-2, 3-3. So I would not write that part alternating like probably 10-8, 11-8, which is I think is what it felt like. I would not write it as that. It would definitely be if the eighth notes are getting the beat, it would be 5-8, 5-8, 5-8, 6-8. Just as a visual signifier to whoever's playing the music that this is the kind of feel it's in. I don't know what a 10 pulse feel would be. I assume maybe um, if I were to write that, probably have like two groupings of four and then a two. So we would have downbeats on or emphasized beats on 1, 5, and 9. I don't know. I've never played music written in 10-8, so I don't even think I've heard music in 10-8. If I have, then it's something that I just did not pick up on. Um, but the thing with yeah, with five pulses, anything in five, I've mentioned before. I don't remember what band we got into talking on this with, but with five, you typically emphasize the first beat. That's usually just regardless of how many beats per bar, you're going to emphasize the first beat. And then it's either going to emphasize beat three or four. So you have a three and a two grouping, or that would be if you emphasize one and four. And if you emphasize one and three, then you have a two and a three grouping. It's going to feel um, disjointed either way. You're going to either feel like you're rushing or feel like you're dragging, um, based on how you know which grouping, whether you're putting more weight on the first group or more weight on the second group. Um, And so when you see something written in five beats per bar, you immediately know it's going to be in one of these, and it really helps with sight reading and feeling out the intentions of the composer. That's the whole purpose of time signature. It really doesn't have much purpose outside of that. It's a category. It's a categorization. It helps you find something easily. If you're not looking for the time, if you're not looking for the feeling of the song, which usually only if you're conducting or playing would you be looking for the feel, otherwise you're listening and you're just feeling it. The time signature doesn't really mean anything. And as I've mentioned many times before, you can write the same riff in plenty of time signatures. Um, it's just, it's not going to look right in some of them. It is more of a visual notifier than anything else. Um, So that was a bit of a tangent, but let's keep rolling. So we had a six pulse to start with, and then we had 5-5-5-6 or 10-11, however you want to feel that. Um, and then we started alternating between the six and then the groups of five. Um, and then we moved into the quiet section, which I think was in four. I think it was the quiet section when we hit four. If not, it was the section right after. Um, and then the ending was interesting. I don't remember what the ending was in. It came off of the four, and I think for a while there I had the four pulse since I was following the drums. But once I started listening to the guitars, I got real. I'm pretty sure it was in four, just with some really interesting accents in the guitar pattern. Um, but yeah, I don't know. But it is interesting that we see so many different time-based patterns going throughout this track. When I mean, it really does kind of give it more of a mathy feel than the post-hardcore ness, the post-hardcore feel that I kind of understand to be the foundation of it musically. Sonically, it feels like a post-hardcore song, but the time changes give it more to me like a prog or a math rock feel, and I think it's really interesting merging those two because we listened to Covet last week, no, week before, and we've listened to Chan before. I'm trying to think if we did any other um, math math rock stuff, and I don't remember. But anyways, I'm kind of getting a bit of an appreciation. Math rock may be the next rabbit hole I dive down, and merging some of the more technical aspects, especially when we get into meter, of math rock with the overall sound of post hardcore is definitely something that's working. Math rock is something I enjoy, or I'm beginning to enjoy, and post hardcore is something that I already have a history of enjoying. So, yeah, this is hitting me. Um, the vocals, I understand, is not going to be everybody's cup of tea. Um, we've had discussions about vocals in the comment section and in the Discord before, and there's definitely a group who maybe they grew up. Well, I think a lot of it comes down to what you grew up with, but there's definitely a group who tend to enjoy lower voices in metal and rock, and a group that enjoys higher voices in metal and rock. And there is a little bit of a crossover in the middle, but I don't see it too often. It's usually like one or two band or one or two vocalists from the other camp that sort of intrigue you. Not so much sitting in the middle and really liking. Maybe a lot of us appreciate things on the other side of the fence that we're on, but I don't think I've seen too many people really enjoy both sides. So yeah, hit me up in the comments with that if you enjoy both low and high vocals. Um, I sit in the higher pitched camp. It's probably because I grew up on 80s rock when I was a toddler and a child, hair metal specifically. And then as a teenager, I got into emo and post hardcore. And a lot of those vocalists tend to be in the higher range as well. So I don't know. Lower voices just don't really sit with me too well. Uh, Usually, like I said, there's some singers I'm like, yeah, deep voice, but it's just it's good. Um, but yeah, so like I said, I'm sure a lot of people or some people may not enjoy this dude singing. He uses a lot of falsetto, and it's well, actually, he uses falsetto and compression. He did use a really nice harsh clean, distorted clean there at the end. Um, and yeah, the dude has a fantastic range of abilities. Like I said, he's got his chest clean, which is still pretty high up there, and then his head clean, and then the mixed compression, and then he even did a bit of a fry there at the end. Um, so yeah, dude's got some versatility, and like I said, I really appreciate his range there. Um, and the other thing I really want to point out that stood out to me is the counterpoint that is persistent through almost the entire track. The right side uh, guitar track, there's two guitars and they're panned. I don't think there was I think both instruments were panned perfectly. The right guitar track though, if you check it out, it's pretty much always moving. It has a really nice melody line to it. Whether it's sometimes it feels like it's just doing straight eighth notes, or I guess they would be 16th notes maybe. Um, just a little bit faster than what everybody else in the band's doing. Really pushing the song, providing a lot of the momentum, but also it's a bit of a counter push to the vocalist. The vocalist, when he starts holding out notes, that guitarist will start playing shorter notes, like I said, eighths, sixteenths, providing a lot of momentum. And when the vocalist begins to um, play some or sing some shorter notes and maybe put a lot more syllables per bar. I think that showed up in the chorus. I think it was. Uh, the guitarist in the right still plays a melody line, but holds out some notes more often and plays some longer notes within. It's still moving along. Not like they're sitting there playing quarters or anything, quarters or half notes, but they tend to have a little bit more space between some of their notes and the runs, and it's this nice little dance between who is playing more notes per bar. And they go back and forth on it, and I just think it's really nice that they work so well together. I think part of it is that there's a spatial divide. Like I said, the guitarist is panned hard right, but the vocalist is in the center, and it provides a little bit more weight to the vocalist. I think it's easier to focus on them. But if you really listen to both parts, I think you'll find some really interesting counterpoint going on. And like I said, a majority of the song has two melodies going at the same time. So that's really impressive. Um, the drums, I don't know. They were a bit low in the mix. They never really came out to the spotlight for me, so I never really got a chance to focus on them, I think, which is weird. Even when drums are low, I find drums to be easy to focus in on when I do my orchestral listening. And I can't, I don't think there's a single moment when I really zeroed in on them. I don't know if it's just because the vocals, the time, and the lead guitar were stealing my attention so often or not. Um, yeah, I can't really comment on the drumming at all, which is a shame because I do like to give them credit. I don't think drummers get enough credit. I try to make it a point to at least listen to one or two really strong fills and at bare minimum point them out. And I got nothing to say about the drums today, and I'm gonna put the weight on that, the blame on me for that one. I don't know if the drums just didn't catch my attention or not, but yeah, I'm gonna take the blame on that one. I think I just missed the chance to listen to them. But yeah, really digging this one. Um, like I said, Tides of Man. Dance Gavin Dance, I really enjoyed. Unfortunately, they kind of got lost in the noise. I think I said I was gonna check them out, and I have not. There's a lot of bands that I said I would and just haven't because other bands have come up that were just more impressive or more important or more I was more intrigued by them. I mean, I check out 7 bands a week, right? We do 28 to 31 bands a month. I have a lot of new material that catches my eye and not a lot of time to get into it. But this, I think this is going straight to the top or close to the top of my checkout list. Got a few bands on that list that I really need. I just added one to my Bandcamp, I think. What was it? I don't know. I don't know. Oh, I have Iapetus. I checked out Bent Knee, their Say So album, phenomenal stuff. Um, and I have Kardashev stuff up here that I have not had a chance to listen to, but I thought I added. Oh, I did. Theodore Bastard stuff. He did or they did. I found out it's a band. They did the Pathologic song that we checked out on Thursday. And yeah, that went right into my listen list. So, yeah, a lot of good stuff, man. Just not enough time to listen to it all. Not the way I want to. I can put it on in the background while I'm doing stuff, and I do. When I checked out Bent Knee, unfortunately, I had it on in the background. Um, but the way I want to listen to music the way that I listen to music here. On my first listen, I really like to be attentive to it. It's just really difficult to find the time for that when I'm learning about 30 bands a month. I mean, I basically have to check out a new album every night, and it doesn't really sound that bad, but that is just a huge undertaking, especially when I'm already, checking out these songs uh, critically. Um, so yeah, that wraps this one up. Though I kind of rambled a bit there in the middle and the end. This is where you guys come in. Hit me up in the comments. These are my thoughts. Let me know your thoughts. If you enjoyed it or not, anything that stuck out to you that you enjoyed, or anything that just kind of bounced off you and you're like, yeah, did not like that part. Let me know. Also, there's a description box for any links adjacent to the channel, stuff kind of outside of the channel, more into the community stuff like Patreon and Discord, Twitter, any way that kind of helps you stay in the loop of what's happening in the critical reaction community. Those kind of links are in the description. There's also a like, subscribe, and bell button if you don't mind pressing those. They help out the channel immensely. I'll be back tomorrow at 5 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, 9 p.m. UTC. I got it. I got it right. Oh man. All right, yeah. 5 p.m. Eastern, 9 p.m. UTC with the second special selection. And Monday we begin acoustic week. And normally by now I know exactly what we're going to be doing, at least for Monday and Tuesday. But we have a four-way tie in the poll. So yeah, I'm going to be as surprised when we get around to checking this stuff out as you guys are, because I don't even know. Until next time, though. Until next time, though. Be critical and not cynical of the music you listen to, and have a fantastic morning, afternoon, or evening whenever you choose to watch my videos.